So here's what Stephen asks. Is political freedom only fought for by the lower nature? Certainly you have to hold tightly to the thought of an enemy, but is spiritual happiness without the freedom to express it true happiness, or simply an illusion we have to buttress to keep from, succumbing to despair? In trying to resolve this question, I see only one illusion replacing another over and over again in a never-ending game of rock, paper, scissors. How do we transcend this conflict between the different needs of our inner and outer lives?
Again, this is a question that comes up so often. And just so you know, Stephen, I'm grateful for the opportunity to meet it again. Imagine, Stephen, for a moment, that this world of ours is divided by a giant screen of some kind. And that on one side of the screen, populated by the human beings on that side, see only what is projected on that screen. And what they see projected on that screen in front of them at all times is by and large antithetical to what the other side of the screen sees with the other population that only sees that side of the screen. So that we live in a world that is completely divided up into two groups of people, each of what sees only what is on their side of the screen, and believes that anybody that doesn't see and agree to what's on their side of the screen is certainly a mad, insane, dangerous human being. Now that is actually an accurate description of our planet. Because our planet isn't made up of cultures, our planet isn't made up of continents, our planet isn't made up of political bodies, our planet is made of a level of consciousness that creates countries and continents and political bodies, all so that each and every one of those areas can see and confirm itself as it thinks it should be. The problem with that is that everybody on the left side of the screen sees everybody on the right side as a lunatic, and everybody on the right side sees everybody on the left side as a lunatic, and everybody wants the left side to be what the right side wants, and the right side wants what everybody on the left side should be. That's the world we live in. And if you think for a split second that there will ever come any form of peace, as long as that screen, as long as that divided consciousness remains in place, you yourself are on one side or another of that screen. And then you say, but surely we can't just let our freedoms be taken away. Well, that's what this side of the screen looks like. The other side of the screen looks like, look, everybody's getting freedom, or nobody has freedom. And you see a world that is at arms with each other, killing each other, because they're identified with the side of the screen they see, with the conditioned thoughts and feelings and their pathological promises of some time to come when they'll be free. So all you have is a world at war. You don't see it as a world at war yet, and that's because, particularly in the United States, we're insulated from all the wars that are taking place by proxy in other parts of the country so that an agenda can be fulfilled. And to see that, Stephen, is the answer to your question, and there is no other answer to it. Do I let my rights be trampled over? Do I lose my freedom? Do I have freedom? Is the right question. If I live in the dread zone, I have the imagined freedom, not freedom. You see, so the question can't be answered at the level it's asked. You will know what to do about your freedoms when you're free. Not you will find freedom when you know what to do. Because what you know what to do, what I know what to do, as long as we're on one side or other, as long as this consciousness is divided, is to set ourselves against someone or something and to prove what we're for by being against something else. You do it if you can do it. How can the world come together if I'm against something that you're for? And how can the world come together if you're for what I'm against? And don't say we'll work it out politically. Look at the world, man. The world's been trying to sort through the inherent violence, fear, and conflict of an unseen dependency for millennia. And all that's happened is that the forms of war have become more and more sophisticated, and the individuals responsible for their expression have become more and more occult, more and more hidden. You want to know where Satan has gone for the last 2,000 years? Look at politics. Look at religion as it is today. Then you'll know where everything has gone. It has gone underground. But the beauty of this work is that you are intended, just as Christ did, to go underground yourself and to see for yourself and change what you see by your willingness to step out of the dread zone into the light zone. You want to go stand up for freedom? Go do it. That's another thing. You see, that's something else we don't understand. Some people, they're in this life to do that. That's what they're here to do. You couldn't convince them not to do it if you gave them $1 million, because they stand on one side of the screen and they're absolutely convinced that the only solution to the suffering that they feel because of the other side of the screen is to get the other people to see their side of the screen is right. So it doesn't matter how much they suffer as long as I can get them to do what I need them to do so I see and they see everything the same way. That's called life in the dread zone. Fight for climate if you want. No one's stopping you. We should all be concerned about this world that we live in. But no one in the dread zone is concerned about anything other than their self, pure and simple. And if you doubt that, look at the men and women who claim that they're for climate control, who claim that they're for a better world, and see how they live. See what everybody is doing, not what they're saying. Then you'll begin to see what is it that I'm doing, not what I'm thinking. I hope that helps, Stephen.